What if I told you that everything you've been taught about success is wrong? The real truth is simpler, but most people avoid it. What if the reason you're stuck in mediocrity is because you've been doing the wrong things your whole life? This story will change how you see your potential forever. We've all been there. You wake up, go through the motions, feel like you're doing enough, but deep inside, you know you're not living up to your full potential. At one point, I was stuck in that exact place. I felt like I was capable of more, but every time I tried to break out of my routine, I ended up back in the same position. Let me show you how I learned to escape this trap and how you can too. The truth is, the majority of people live average lives, not because they lack the ability to succeed, but because they never learn the one thing that's absolutely necessary: how to break free from mediocrity. Most people get comfortable in their daily routines, following the exact same path every day, and this is where they stay, stuck. Have you ever noticed that people who achieve greatness don't do what everyone else does? They've figured out something that most of us ignore, and that's what makes all the difference. For years, I believed that success was about working harder, pushing myself more. I thought that being constantly busy and checking things off my to-do list was the secret to achievement. But the more I followed this pattern, the more I felt drained, stressed, and unfulfilled. I kept running in circles and didn't get closer to my dreams. Here's where it gets interesting. The problem isn't your job or your circumstances, it's your mindset and your daily habits. The way we're taught to think about success is all wrong. From an early age, we're told that working hard, staying in school, and getting a good job will set us up for a good life. But here's the catch. If you do what everyone else is doing, you'll get the same results as everyone else. And that, my friend, is the definition of mediocrity. Let me give you an example. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, we learn the difference between working for money and having money work for you. Kiyosaki's poor dad worked hard his entire life, stuck in a cycle of earning and spending. His rich dad, on the other hand, understood the power of investments, financial literacy, and smart decision-making. The real lesson I took from Rich Dad, Poor Dad wasn't just about financial education, it was about the mindset shift. I had been chasing after a paycheck instead of creating something that worked for me, that grew on its own. In Atomic Habits by James Clear, I realized that small actions, when repeated, lead to big results. The problem wasn't that I wasn't working hard enough, it was that I wasn't building the right habits. Instead of focusing on big, overwhelming goals, I needed to focus on improving just 1% each day. The smallest changes, done consistently, would compound over time and make me more successful than trying to make radical shifts all at once. A pivotal moment for me was when I read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This book taught me that my daily actions, whether good or bad, were creating an inevitable result. I was just too focused on immediate gratification instead of thinking long-term. The real key to breaking out of mediocrity wasn't about achieving one big goal, it was about making small, smart choices every single day. Let's talk about the misconception of success that I had. I thought success meant working yourself to the bone, grinding non-stop, thinking that hard work was the only thing that mattered. But then I read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. This book completely shattered the traditional view of success for me. Ferriss shows that it's not about working harder, but about working smarter, leveraging your time, automating tasks, and thinking outside the box to create income streams that allow you more freedom. Another eye-opening book was Deep Work by Cal Newport. He talks about the importance of focused, distraction-free work. I was doing too much of the wrong work, tasks that seemed urgent but weren't really moving me forward. By focusing deeply on fewer, more meaningful tasks, I started to make significant progress. One of the biggest shifts I made was learning to embrace discomfort. Let me explain what I mean by that. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. This was a huge realization for me. Success doesn't come to those who seek comfort. It comes to those who actively challenge themselves, who take risks, and who embrace the hard things. For example, in Grit by Angela Duckworth, I learned that persistence and passion for long-term goals were far more important than raw talent or quick wins. Duckworth shows how people who stick with their goals through thick and thin are the ones who make it big. The challenge for me was no longer avoiding discomfort. It was learning to welcome it, because that's where growth happens. One of the things I started doing was waking up earlier than everyone else. It wasn't easy, but that extra hour of productivity in the morning changed my life. I learned to stop wasting time on things that didn't move me forward, and I put more focus on building habits that would help me grow. So, how do you stop being mediocre? It's not about luck, talent, or even working harder than everyone else. It's about working smarter and creating new habits that move you closer to your goals. It's about doing the things others aren't willing to do, challenging yourself, embracing discomfort, learning every day, and making small, consistent changes. Mediocrity doesn't just happen, it's the result of your daily choices. If you want to break free from it, start by asking yourself, what can I do today that will move me closer to my dreams? If you're ready to break free from mediocrity and build the life you've always wanted, hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. Your potential is limitless. Now it's time to start living like it.